Hello. In this video we're going to be touching upon nested arrays and how to access them. This is a continuing video in our JavaScript array series. So please check out the other videos if you haven't. The links are in the description. And if you enjoy this video and the others, please like and subscribe. It will really help me out. Thank you. So, nested arrays. Here, line 2, we have an array, nested array. And here VS Code is very helpful to us because what will happen if you've got prettier installed and rainbow brackets, there will be different coloration to denote the different arrays that exist. So this bracket here and this bracket here on the outside is nested array, and within that we have 3 arrays. So the first array, second array, and the third array. And inside the third array there is yet another nested array. So for now what I'm going to do is just log out nested array. And there you go. As we can see, this is nested array, and within it the elements are 3 arrays, and in this array the second element is also an array. So given the 0 indexing that we went through in our second video of this series, this element here, the first element, has index 1. This entire element is index 2, and this entire element is index 3. In here, apples is index 0 of the element at index 0. Pears is index 1 of the element index 0. Apples here is index 0 at index 1 of nested array. Grapes is index 1 of index 1 in nested array. Here, oranges is index 0 of index 2 in nested array. This array is index 1 of index 2 of nested array. Apples is index 0 of index 1 of index 2 of nested array. And pears is index 1 of index 1 of index 2 of nested array. So I know that's quite a mouthful, and it does get quite complicated. However, JavaScript does give us quite an easy way to access these individual elements. So here we have access first apple, second apple, and third apple. So all I'm going to do is console log each apple. So accessing the array, and I want to get the first element in the array, which is this first array. I'm going to log that to the console. And we get the entire array. It's at index 0, and we access the particular index by putting the variable name followed by square brackets, and if it's an array, we put an integer in there, we will access that array element. But how to get access to the inner element? Simple. We want to print apples, more square brackets, and apples element, index rather, which is 0. Run the code again, and we get apples. So we're going to console log nested array in this element here, which is index 1 in nested array. It is the 0th element with index 0. So again, we have 2 apples. The third apples. How do we access this? So console log nested array at element 2, 0, 0, 1, 2 at element index 1, 0, 1 at element index 1. So we're going 3 layers deep. This is the index of the array, of the elements in nested array. Then this is the index of the elements in the inner array. And then this is the index of apples in the inner array. And no, it's not. It's at index 0. So there are my 3 apples. And this is how you access nested arrays. It's a very useful tool to know, because often you can have data transmitted, JSON data for example, which will be an object which will contain an array, and it might be an array of arrays, so to access an individual element, this sort of thing is going to have to be done. So whilst it may seem contrived, and this example surely is, in reality this can get used reasonably often in data fetching and manipulation. So it's a good thing to get used to and at least be aware of. So thank you for listening. Look, check out more videos upcoming in the future on JavaScript arrays, general JavaScript, HTML and CSS, and some interesting GitHub tutorials with exercises on GitHub strategies. Thank you and have a good evening.